Welcome back to the Urban Ranch version 2.0, episode 17.1. There are a number of aspects to the Urban Ranch from a historical perspective that we have always desired to keep in the home after we finish the renovation. And a lot of this centers around some of the original woodwork of the home, whether they were fireplaces, mantles, pocket doors, which we'll have some separate episodes on, or some of the original 5-panel doors. The thought being in refinishing these would be that I would take them, strip them down, and then do a light sanding and a clear coat refinish. In order to do that, what I did was assemble a 10 by 10 foot tent inside the auto house where Crystal and I are currently living while we do the renovation. Kind of looks like a mini operating room, if you will. I set up an air filtration system down to 2.5 microns to contain any vapors or things like that. And you can see here, this was one of the first doors that I attempted to strip all of the varnish and lacquer from that door. Let me tell you, this is not a process to take lightly. After several, and let me repeat, several hours of scraping repetitively on these doors, the best that I could still come up with is a door that looked about like this. Not all that pleasing. Therefore, I had to recruit the help of some real experts. We're back here at Urban Ranch version 2.0 here today with Steve Coop of Coop Restorations. As you can see, we have one of the original 5-panel doors from the Urban Ranch. Now, mind you, we believe these doors to be original to the home, so about 107 years old. We don't know how many times they've been shellacked or lacquered over that time period, but what we'd like to do is try and preserve as much as we can from the home. So what Steve fortunately is able to do for us is to help us with that process. And Steve's picking up the doors today, and we're going to take them back to his shop and have them dipped to remove all that old lacquer and shellac on. And Steve, if you could just tell us a little bit about Coop Restorations and the process of which maybe you go through with these types of projects.
Okay, I've been in business 44 years. We're going to use a chemical to remove the finish, which isn't going to hurt the wood, which is going to keep it nice and smooth for you as far as trying to finish it. You don't have to do any aggressive sanding and so forth.
Perfect. And what we'll plan to do here too is then bring the Urban Ranch followers over to Steve's shop and actually look at the process upon which these are then dipped. We'll then bring them back here to the auto house and finish the refinishing process on them, which we'll walk you through as well. Let's just say that sometimes having experts give you a hand is worth its weight in gold. Steve and his team certainly stepped in and helped us with that. This is a shot of Coop Restorations. You can see they have all the tools and tricks to restore high-quality, high-end furniture. Well, we're here today at Coop Restorations with Steve Coop and one of his lead techs, Spencer, and we're about to now dip one of the doors. So again, as we explained previously, these doors are from 1913 and they have who knows how many coats of shellac or urethane on them. And so one of the ways that we're going to now remove those that coating is going to be to dip them. And Steve, can you just kind of explain the process that we go through here?
Yes, Spencer is going to completely submerge it. Then we're going to let the chemical do the work. It's going to loosen the finish that's on it. He's going to take a nylon brush and kind of brush the finish off as it begins to dissolve. Then when it's all done, he's going to take it back out and simply wipe it down with some clean rags, and you're good to go. It doesn't raise the grain, which we talked about earlier.
Right.
Very safe process. I can use it on antiques and veneers, and it doesn't make any difference. It's just a nice, clean process.
Right. And this is a high alcohol content product that's being used, and that's why it has this lid that when it's not being used, Steve and the guys, they cover this because a lot of it will evaporate off, and then any of the byproduct material that's retained over is kept and then disposed of in an EPA consistent manner in that. So we're respectful of the environment in that. So what we've done here is I've sped up the film just for practical purposes of viewing the video. But in reality, Spencer allowed this door to sit in the vat there of the removing detergent for probably a total of about 10 minutes or so. Then you can see he just really takes a brush, goes over it, and the old varnish comes off remarkably easily. Again, if you recall, I trying to do this on my own in the auto house, I used a low VOC product, which just basically means it has the least amount of harmful chemicals and vapors. I did wear a respirator while doing that work, but it is just pales in comparison to what this is able to do, not only in the time allotment, but really in the completeness of removing the old varnish off of the doors. I will, once we take these doors back to the auto house, do just a little bit of cleanup to them, give them a quick sand with about a 220 grit sandpaper, and then begin putting clear coats of a polyacrylic protective film on them. And you can see here the comparison between that one that just was allowed to sit for about 10 minutes and one of the original doors with all the coats of varnish on it. So we'll look forward to episode 17.2, where we continue working on refinishing some of the doors, and we'll get into some of the intricacies of door refinishing that's a little unique to the project. So, as we always say, more to come on Urban Ranch version 2.0.